Hey, I'm Andrew Cartwright. I'm with a power player, speaks in front of tons of people all over the country, has businesses all over the world, owns lots of different companies or pieces of companies or whole companies. He's a good friend, and I caught him while he was flying between 3 different states. His name is Mark Denzin, Denzin. Check him out. He has his website, Mark Denzin. That's not like a plug. I'm just telling you, check this guy out. He's incredible. He's a good friend of mine. And he speaks a lot of the language I love, which is banking, underwriting, all the nomenclature that comes with figuring out how to get a deal done. You just did like a $30 million deal. What was it, a couple days ago?
A couple days ago, selling seeds for the hemp industry.
Seeds, $30 million. So, and I think you did what, 90 million, I think it was?
90 million last month.
Last month.
In lending.
So I know this may seem unreal to you, but part of Money Mondays is to really impress upon you that this stuff is real. That if you can actually conceive it and believe it, you can actually get it done. And Mark's kind enough to spend a few moments with us because he's going to be running out of here. 420 just happened. And we're going to talk a little bit about that industry and also the lending in that industry, the constraints, problems, and the solutions that he's been able to figure out, because entrepreneurship is really about figuring out how to solve problems. So, Mark, thank you so much, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here, Andy.
Yeah, man. It's
so
a
cool.
privilege.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy your show every week too.
Oh, thanks, brother.
So I really appreciate it. Yeah. Getting in the cannabis industry was something new for me. A couple of years ago, I was doing private equity funding, and I was funding infrastructure projects, energy, streetlights for cities, municipalities. And I had a group that wanted to come and invest into one of my funds.
Yeah.
And
that's how we met, was through the energy.
That's how we met, through the energy stuff. And so I was like, yeah, of course I'd love for you to invest in one of my funds. That sounds great to me, right? We all take in private investment, and it's always great to have a new investor as well. So we came up with the term sheet, we came up with all of our contract, and I said, great, now here's my wire information. Let's get to work, right? And they said, Mark, why don't you come out to the farm? I go, yeah, of course I'll come on the farm. And I
can already see where this is going.
I'm not from the cannabis industry, so I came out of the farm, and they showed me this beautiful farm,
right?
And then they showed me more cash I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I go, wow. I'm like, I don't know how much 50 million is, but let's get it in the truck, get it to the bank, and let's get it to work.
Right.
And they go, Mark, we don't have a bank account. And I went, I don't even know what you're talking about.
And you told me there's a bunker in the mountain.
Yep.
With freaking militia guards.
Yep.
And nowhere to put it, no bank to put it in.
They're taking in money.
And they wouldn't tell anybody where this was. They only let you in there. I remember you telling me they only let you in there because of your relationship, that it took you a while to actually get to the point where they would take you to the bunker and actually show you this real cash.
Real cash.
It's freaking crazy.
It was amazing. And so anyway, I go, no problem. $50 million is something we can absorb and do that. Let me talk to my vent friends.
Should be easy.
No problem.
Piece of cake.
6 months later, I met everybody that I don't want to work with, from money launderers to folks that just had some BS for me. And I just really was enamored with the fact that I started meeting more and more people that had the same problem.
Yeah.
Let alone the folks that were trying to work with me that I didn't trust. But more importantly, I met a lot of great cannabis folks that are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
That are looking to make a difference in not only from a personal standpoint, but from an industry standpoint. And more importantly, they're there to make a difference in the medical industry.
Yeah.
Which I honestly, when I got into this, I thought it was a bunch of people getting high.
That's what I thought too. I literally, all the signs, get registered, get your medical card. But I actually like Jonathan, amazing Jonathan here. He has a lot of different pains and a heart condition. And he actually was the first person who really expressed to me that it had nothing to do. Like if he wanted to do other drugs, there's better stuff that he would do. And I won't say, I'm sure he said on the show we did together, but the cannabis really was not his drug of choice, but it helped in so many different ways, nerve endings, all kinds of different pains and the heart condition, all kinds of stuff.
I would have never guessed.
Me neither. Yeah.
And with CBD, I had no clue what CBD was. And really, when you see the impact, when you meet people for real,
Right.
that how much has changed their lives, and they tell you about it. I speak at a lot of events, like you said. I get to meet a lot of amazing folks, and every time I meet somebody, they tell me their story of why they're in the industry. I mean, I got into this industry because, you know, I was doing deals.
You're a money guy.
So I was like,
You didn't have to say that.
I was doing
If
something.
there's some money attached to it, Mark's falling out of the sky.
I want to do
it.
But more importantly, that's really changed my whole perception of the industry and why I created the companies we do. So now from our lending company, which is fantastic, and you're going to see on our enterprise.fund.
Yeah. Check it out.
Check it out.
We'll put it in the link, so you don't have to remember it. It'll be in the link below.
But with lending, it's amazing because this industry traditionally has been taking private equity investors, and most people don't know what angel investment or private equity investment. You're taking cash and taking equity out of your company, right? You're taking a percentage of that company, which seems like a great idea when you're the investor,
Right.
but when you're the recipient, sometimes you're like, I don't want this guy to tell me what to do, run my business. I don't want people telling me what to do, right?
Right.
So it's very difficult, but you have to do it because otherwise you wouldn't be in business.
Yeah.
So they had to do it. So they had no access to debt. And over the last couple of years, we've been able to give them access to debt, you know, from equipment leasing to property acquisitions to money to go vertical or operational money, which is phenomenal. And just like you mentioned earlier, $30 million to buy seeds.
That's crazy.
I would never guess. But you know how
Let's say that slowly. $30 million,
Yep.
right, to buy seeds. Seeds. We're not talking about something that's real, like a building. We're talking about seeds to plant.
Right.
So somehow you were able to collateralize and get $30 million in to collateralize seeds.
You know how we did it?
You know what's weird is I wonder if people get how amazing that is, because just collateralized stuff that's stuck to the ground and screwed to it with insurance.
It may or may not grow.
Oh, God. Wow.
So you don't even know if that seed's going to grow or not.
Wow. So you could even have bad seeds,
Of course.
just like you have in families.
You can.
Everybody's got a few,
Huh?
right?
I might be one of them.
It could be.
But it's amazing. And how we're able to do it, we also do insurance. So I was able to insure and do crop insurance, which is one of the few that I've ever heard of, to get done. And so I literally...
See, I understand underwriting, which is why this is so, you know, when you're underwriting a deal and looking at a deal structure, the idea of insuring seeds, like you're talking about, and then to be able to underwrite that and collateralize that so that you could exchange funds is just amazing.
It took a while, and it's a great off-taker.
How long did it take?
30 days.
That's a while.
That's kind of funny, huh? 30 days come up with 30 million, guys. But, I mean,
Came out with $1 million a day.
for equipment leasing, it typically takes us 7 to 10 days,
Okay.
right? And,
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Right.
I mean, we do a lot of like the smaller, do a lot through another business, Capital Velocity, a lot of smaller transactions. And those we do in hours, but they're pretty standardized collateral type stuff.
We'll do like a UCC on it, right? And take that piece on, but it is tough. I mean, especially for an industry, that banking's a problem. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't have a bank account, how are you going to pay back the loan? As much as I love manila envelopes of cash,
Yeah.
that's not how I want to get paid back, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a bank account, that's another one of our businesses. Integrated Compliance Solutions really does the background and underwriting and all the background checks and licensing checks and all the underwriting for the banks that handle that piece.
When you first told me about that, I actually thought maybe at first that you were part of some immigration program. I see. Yes. Well, I like what is that? And so they do compliance, right? That's the compliance work to make sure that you know who you're dealing with and that you're not money laundering. Yep. Which you know is an area that you don't want to fall into the gray area. You want to make sure you're black and white.
And there's rules for it.
Yeah.
It was very
Thank
black
God.
and white rules.
Thank God.
The Federal Treasury Department came out with the rules in 2014 to allow cannabis banking. The problem is there's two problems that banks have with banking. It's going to be reputational risk,
Yeah.
right? And then just actual underwriting,
Yeah.
right? And understanding you're a client, you're licensed, you have a tracking system to understand every dollar that you took in is a legal, licensed cannabis related transaction.
Which they have from seed to sale.
Seed to sale, like POS system.
So the banking industry, federally regulated and could lose their license. They don't even have the infrastructure to be able to handle the compliance issue, right?
That's why it's all outsourced.
Right. That makes sense.
That's why it's all outsourced, because a bank, when you walk into a bank and you're like, hey, can you give me a loan? They typically are going somewhere else for underwriting and things like that. But that's their traditional business. They've been doing loans for a long time. But they are just risk assessors, right? They don't look at what's called know your client.
Yeah.
And now it's know your client's client. So if I own a dispensary,
Wow.
or if I own a grow, grow's a really good example. So who's my client? Well, my client's a dispensary because I sell them, right? But who's their client?
Right.
It's the people buying the product. So how do I know that they came in with cash, credit card, whatever, debit card, whatever way? We'll have to know through these seed to sale POS systems. And if I have all that information, which we capture, deliver that to the bank. So you deposit $1, I associate all this information for that. And I use blockchain in order to capture all that data. And I know you're a big blockchain guy too.
Huge.
Right? And so we use blockchain to as a database simply to capture data in an unalterable state. And that way we know if we get audited, which we do every quarter, that we can deliver this information back to the Federal Crimes Division of the Treasury Department that we do legal cannabis related business.
So in case you might have missed that, and this comes up for a lot of people, whatever happens on the blockchain stays on the blockchain, right? So it's immutable. That was, I just came up with that. Like right there. That's good, huh?
You're amazing.
Especially Vegas, right? So what happens on the blockchain, it stays on the blockchain. You can't code it differently. Once you write code that is handled and the blockchain's in the air, right? It's out there. The codes that transfer a transaction actually make it impossible to change it. So even if you wanted to change or alter, what he said, alter, it's not possible because it's what's called immutable, which means unchangeable. It would be like carving the transaction into a stone and dropping it in the middle of the ocean or something.
Breaks in half, and then you go, wow, I don't trust this anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it becomes. And I thought it was so cool when I've been in the data center world for a long time. And we had a lot of
Can we mention who you're with?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, you're a huge player, and you went way up the corporate ladder. I'm surprised you left there.
So I was original team for part of GoDaddy.
GoDaddy.
So if you ever heard of GoDaddy or domain names and web hosting, well advertised. I actually started out of Bob Parsons' garage. Wow. And that was really cool. That was really cool to be part of a revolution at that time. You know, I mean, now we all take websites and e-commerce for granted and domain names, but then it was a really big deal because we had a couple big players that were charging a lot of people money. When you're an entrepreneur, guess what you don't have?
A lot of money.
You don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So GoDaddy came in and says, we got a different philosophy. We're going to make everything easy to use at a lower cost and enable you to be successful.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And the marketing and everything.
It was really cool. And I got to be part of 3 publicly traded companies, you know, in that industry. And that's why I ended up in private equity. And really you feel the revolution now. I'm in cannabis, I'm in crypto, and it's the hottest thing you can be right now.
It's amazing. I mean, the future just is, I mean, so much friction is going to go away from the marketplace. If people if you could really see 5 years out with this, right now, it's like blows away the iPhone, blows away the internet. I mean, just what's possible now because we can codify trust. I'm actually almost done with a book called Decentralized Capitalism. And it goes deep into how decentralized that we're very soon, the economics, the savings we're going to get from just like your system on the blockchain, because guess what? It works autonomously. Right? Are you touching the blockchain?
Never.
No, it just works by itself, right?
Right.
I mean, you don't have to feed it. You don't have to clothe it. You don't have to have it clock in or clock out. You don't have to provide space for it. You know, how much space do you provide for your data system.
Limited, almost none,
Yeah.
because it's shared.
Blockchain, Bitcoin actually, the entire Bitcoin is stored on my phone, right? The ledger for every transaction ever done in Bitcoin is stored on my phone.
Right. How cool is that, huh?
Is that weird?
That's so cool.
Is that weird? I mean, we're talking about, what, I don't know, billions, maybe even trillions at this point of transactions.
Well, that's really the transaction cost is what we're really saving.
Yeah.
We go from people used to, and if you're a merchant, you know how much Visa, MasterCard, and more importantly, interchange costs, right?
Right.
So we can really change that model quite a bit where we just have to change behavior, right? People that understand like Apple Pay and Google Pay and stuff like that, they try to change behavior. It hasn't happened yet because it still used the same old system,
Yep.
just called it a different name.
I got something I'll show you. It's really weird. I don't know if I ever showed you this before. It's this has 32 credit cards on it. I have 71 credit cards, right? 71 different cards.
That's really cool.
It actually changes the strip to whatever card I need it to be.
So you just tell what card and
I just tell it what card and it swipes.
God, how much nicer would that be?
Yep. You know how much this set me back?
$100.
$99.
It's good.
I didn't pay for shipping, but there might have been tax. So yeah, you're probably dead.
Always tax.
Is that crazy?
That's pretty cool.
So I mean, I carry the sort of my standards in there, but
Right.
that one is 32 cards. So whatever I need to switch it to,
And it's important because if you have multiple businesses, I have multiple business cards. I have to track all the transactions independently. So my accountant goes, Mark, what's this for? Well, it's very easy to track that. Oh, I need to move this to this account. Oh, what? No, that's a nightmare when we have to reconcile books every month. So it's very easy when you come into.
I think of Wolf of Wall Street when the dad comes in. And is that his dad? His dad comes in to reconcile the thing, and they had a bunch of hookers. Did you see Wolf of Wall Street?
Of course.
Yeah. The dad comes in, he's blowing up. He's blowing up, and all the boys are sitting around smoking or whatever. And he says, he goes, "What's this charge?" This, I don't know, $200,000, and they said it was for therapy or some crazy thing. Yeah, it was funny.
I've spent that on therapy. On a weekend, though, the weekend therapy.
How was this last weekend?
It was great. I tell
You
you,
had a 420 party, right?
I did in Scottsdale, Arizona at Wasted Grain, which is a great restaurant bar in Scottsdale, Old Town, which is a fantastic town. That's my hometown, actually. And Green Thumb Events through that, which is a cannabis friendly event company that does events all around Scottsdale and around Arizona. And we, I tell you, 420 is considered the holiday of weed, right?
Yeah.
So
CNN had said on Friday that that Wall Street embraces 420. I don't know what that means. Maybe Elon Musk is gonna.
is that why to go to the high in Wall Street?
I didn't
see that.
A Wall Street party or something, right?
No, it's really cool. We sponsored events last year with High Times, and we did what's called Cannabis Cup, which is basically rewarding the best quality of product. So I make this profile of indica or something like that. Who's the guy? I said product, right?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah.
No, I got friends that test it, and it is so funny.
What am I? I'm a cannabis tester.
So literally, they have like 30 kinds of weed or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And they have to test it. And they have to pick what one's the best.
Right.
And I asked him, I was like, how do you know which one's the best? Because I went to basically as a customer, I was a winery. And his son started growing weed on the property. And so he made a bed and breakfast just around weed. This is in Temecula, by the way.
I know where Temecula is.
Really cool. It's a great place. And it's winery.
Between Vegas and San Diego.
Right.
Temecula, yeah.
And beautiful place.
Yeah, I've been there. It's beautiful.
And so I go there, just hanging out, and he goes, Mark, you should do our weed tasting. And I go, I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? He goes, well, we give you 10 joints of smoke, and you tell us which one you like best. And I'm like,
Probably the last one.
well, I'm not here a week, dude. I'm only here a couple hours. He goes, no, it only takes like an hour. I'm like, I'm going to smoke 10 joints in an hour. I'm going to tell you which one's the best. okay, let's try it out.
Oh, God.
And okay, so it's really funny. So it's a room, like literally, we're in this beautiful room, and they set up really nicely, and they lay you all out your 10 joints, and they tell you which one each one is. So you light up the first one. Everybody gets their own.
Oh, wow.
So you smoke a joint. Cool. Guess what happened in the first joint I smoked? And I don't really smoke weed, so
You must be gone.
I got really fucking high.
Yeah.
Like I was high.
Yeah.
Cool. Guess what happened in the second joint? Just as high. Third joint, can't get much higher than what I was.
Right.
But the sommelier, right? The bud tender. I don't know what it's called, but I would call sommelier. I think it's bud tender, but whatever.
Well, what do they call the espresso guy? Doing barista?
Well, that's kind of where the bud tender came from, right?
Okay.
So, anyway, so fantastic gal. She's great. She goes, okay, everybody, I've got a profile sheet for you, everybody, to fill out. You know, as you go along, you write it down. We'll have a conversation on it.
Right.
And I go, okay. And so literally, I'm around all these people telling me about the terpene profiles and the flavors from one joint to another. And I'm looking at these people like they're crazy. They ask me, I'm like, I'm just really fucking high.
All right. Just fill your head right now.
And they go, okay, cool. Let's start smoking the rest of them, right? And so we do. And I kept asking more and more questions. And literally at the 10th joint, I'm looking at these people going, and they are still talking about the differences between one to another. And I went, wow, that's a really amazing talent. But it's crazy how people are really into it. Wow. Passionate about the differences between one product and another. And that's what makes a difference in the industry from high grade folks to mid grade to low grade. Wow. And people really appreciate that. So when you walk into a dispensary, you go, what do I really want? And that bud tender actually develops a relationship with you in that time to understand who you are, to get you the right product to best suit you. I was blown away.
Wow.
By the way, I just got really fucking high. So I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I swear on the show?
Yeah.
You can bleep it out if you need to.
Yeah. No, we don't fucking cuss. Those words are just unacceptable. That's bullshit.
I know.
Yeah, we don't want to push that shit around.
But that's the cool thing about the entrepreneurial spirit, where you had a son that doesn't want to be a winery, which is like 2 or 3 generations. He's like, this is the new crop.
Wow.
And I speak at UC Boulder every month to their agricultural college for banking and lending. Wow. So my first one was 2 months ago. I'm actually speaking there tomorrow, Tuesday. I'll be in Colorado, and I'll be speaking there, and it's amazing to feel the students. So I do 2 speeches to the classes, and then we do a mixer at the end with local farmers and everybody else. So I'm in the energy industry. So I talk about banking and lending, and I talk about energy, and all they want to talk about is energy. Huh. Because they have such a problem getting energy to their farms. Because these farms traditionally need like a half a megawatt of power.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in the cannabis industry, or more importantly, they're mostly hemp, they need a lot of energy. And so how are they going to get that? So the local power company doesn't want to deliver that energy for you without you paying a lot of money for it. So we fund energy projects for individual farms on microgrids. And that way those farms can enable them to be successful. Because if you don't have energy, you're not making product.
Wow, so all these opportunities just pop out of an industry, a world that's not set up for that industry,
right?
Problems that exist all over the place, and solutions that don't exist yet. And yet there's still so much more that we don't even know that are going to emerge as opportunities.
I had no clue. I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, I see a problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a solution for it. And that's really the coolest thing about like this industry and every other one. If you have the ability to just see past the problem,
yeah,
you can find a solution and work through that.
Yeah.
Because typically the problem is funding.
Well, what's weird too is, I'll hear people talk, right, about a problem, and that's like the end of it.
Yeah.
They're not looking for, okay, where is the solution? To me, that's the first thing I think of is like problem.
I guess figure it out. Let's figure it out.
Let's figure it out like a puzzle. It becomes a fun game where, when people says, oh yeah, cannabis can't be banked, or, how many people would say you can't lend on seeds, ones you can't even guarantee are going to grow?
I tell you what,
I could probably make 5 phone calls right now.
Right?
And get 5 no's.
For sure.
And I bet you they wouldn't even say, let me pick up the phone and see if I can call somebody, and just, you'll probably come up in a couple of Google searches pretty quickly.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
Until somebody came to me and they go, Mark, we need this help. And guess what I found? A solution.
Yeah.
And the solution wasn't just the lender that was lending money, but we needed to do other things like insurance and risk assessment and all those other things that happen with it, which can happen if we just slow down to understand what the problem is and start chigging through what the solution is.
Yeah, layer the thing. I mean, so often in banking, part of banking is making sure that whatever you're doing is insured, because banks, see, the difference is, and I always say this, is poor people avoid risk, wealthy people manage risk.
Yeah.
So a bank that has wealth, right, they insure that risk so that they can pass off some of that for a small fee. And then as long as they're making more than the cost of the risk, the insurance, whatever they lend to is covered. Simple.
It's pretty simple. There's two things that you have to have if you're going to be a citizen in this country or a business. You have to have a bank account and insurance. I mean, just think about it. There's nothing you do that's not insured right now.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Everything. I get the car, it's insured. The building is insured. The house is insured.
Right. Probably got life insurance.
Yeah, all that stuff.
You know, and you think about when you're on a plane, you think that plane's not insured?
Oh, it's insured.
Right.
In fact, they grounded all I forget what was it the Z8 or the
Max 8?
Max 8?
The Max 8, yeah.
They grounded all those because of insurance risk. I think Lloyd's grounded all of them in the world, and the United States was the only one could fly on them because I guess our insurance is different. But they grounded them until they had their inspection because two went down the same way.
It's crazy. It's
you know? So, I mean, if I'm an insurance company, I can pull that risk, give them notice, and then all of a sudden I've grounded planes over a technical programming. I guess they, at some point when they hit a certain thing, they like went into the ground. I talked to a Southwest airline pilot the day after those grounding, and he was telling me about it. He goes, "Oh yeah, don't worry about that plane, blah blah blah. It's a this, and if it's not only this, but it's also not responding." Anyways, I guess that's airline. There is no day of the week with an A. Yeah. Oh well. So yeah.
You know, we talk about insurance all the time, and Maria Sid is my insurance broker for all of our businesses and what we do, and she's amazing. She's out of California, and really we talk about it all the time of what can we do to reduce risk, and reduce cost.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, cost is always the biggest problem. That's why a lot of people don't do insurance or do certain things because they're like, I can't afford it.
Oh, whole industries go out of existence because of they're uninsurable.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you think the cannabis industry and farms and labs, distribution, dispensaries, I mean, think of the liability when you walk into a dispensary and you trip and fall, especially Vegas here.
Yeah.
Right now it's like open game because it's fully legal. So you have all these tourists that come in and now they have access to a product they typically don't have access to in their state or country.
Yeah.
And if I don't know the liability on that piece of it, but I'm sure it's got to be something.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So Mark is all over the place, but obviously you can find him on the internet. Mark Denzin, will put the link below. I'm so happy that he could join us. I wish we were shooting this live so that you guys could ask questions. Maybe we'll be able to do a Zoom call when he's back at his wherever I mean, you're all over the place.
All over the place.
Every time I think you're somewhere.
It's this week, and that's Monday through Friday.
Crazy.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. So it speaks all the time, all over the place. So catch up with him. And thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.